ladies and gentlemen, we had an extra sunrise right there. Wouldn't that be great to have 2 sunrises every morning? I'm John Gray. I'm living on the second sunrise.
Well, John, good morning. I'm Peggy Burton. I don't know what I'm living on. I'm just glad to be living.
You live well. It's not borrowed time.
Well, yeah, true.
You riding on a cloud, baby. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, sometimes it is.
You get up in the morning, you look outside, and it's fall time. As I saw you glance around at all these beautiful colors, we've had a week and a half of absolutely gorgeous weather.
Oh yeah, beautiful weather.
In Tennessee.
The deer run all over my yard. They're so happy.
Everything's happy.
Yeah.
My little cat's happy. She's wanting to go outside and climb a tree. I'm worried about her a little bit though. There's a tomcat running around in the front yard, and I told her she needed to keep her tail down. I don't know if she paid attention to me or not.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares.
You might have to watch Miss Dottie for
Miss
a
Dottie,
while.
yeah, we love her. What's up with Peggy?
Well, not a whole lot. Like everybody else, too busy. But there's a lot going on in October, so I hope everybody will stay in town and enjoy what's happening in our region right here.
And we're going to have most of the show today is going to be about what's upcoming in the next week or so, and all the wonderful things that Greg Gressel's going to be on, and you and Greg are going to talk about stuff that's happening at South Jackson, and not just that, but we've got art crawls, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on.
Stuff happening.
Tullahoma High School football, we're on a winning way right now, and we have Lawrence County coming this Friday night. It's going to be a beautiful night, and everybody we play from now on is a regional opponent, so we need to win.
Tough games.
Well, yeah, but the winnable games, and we need support out there. And Tennessee is, Alabama won the other day by 1 point.
Well, that was a
1 point. And Texas A&M almost beat them again. They seem like to be the spoiler, but Alabama won, which is good. Which means this coming Saturday, they will come into Knoxville undefeated, and Tennessee is undefeated. And I'm glad that Texas A&M didn't beat Alabama, because I sure do want to see Tennessee beat them. It'll be a great ball game.
It'll be a great ball game, and the stands will be full, and
and it'll be happy people.
Screaming and crying and carrying on.
Gnashing of teeth. Titans won a game by the skin of their teeth on Sunday. So there's just all kinds of good stuff going on.
Yeah. No reason to sit on the couch and do nothing. There's plenty to do.
We have people coming from all over the country, moving into the Mid-South.
Because it's lovely.
It's lovely. They've all figured out that this is, there was a song we did on the South Jackson Goes Country show, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, called God's Country.
Right.
And it's about where we live in the Mid-South, and the rest of the world is figuring it out. A lot of people want to come here. Yeah, they do.
They don't mind anymore that we talk funny and dress
don't wear
funny.
Shoes.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't wear shoes still.
It's okay now. Tennessee is
the place. To go barefoot.
Tennessee's the place to be.
Tennessee is the place to be, and that's a fact. And we had a thing on recently where I went and heard the commissioner of tourism speak in Manchester, and tourism is money.
Of course.
It is money. It pays for over 50% of our schools. It's just incredible what tourism.
So the more that we can do to bring people into our community, and we always encourage people to buy locally.
Yes.
There's lots of good stuff coming in.
Yes, and we have. I noticed that there's a new Ulta beauty store going up next to Marshall's down there. McAllister's, which is a great sandwich and salad shop.
I'm not familiar with it.
When I was working in Nashville and Brentwood, Yeah, there was one in Brentwood, and that was one of my favorite places to go
So
eat.
it's a little bit like Panera Bread or something like that?
Yeah,
where you just get a
that
variety
type of thing. Yeah,
sandwiches
wonderful
and stuff?
salads and sandwiches, and they have some of the best iced tea that you can ever put in your mouth.
Great.
Oh, outstanding.
It's a big week here. Loretta Lynn's passing
Yes, she did.
has touched me because she's probably about my age. And when I was a teenager, I wasn't crazy about her voice. I thought she sang through her nose and was too country. But I grew to love Loretta Lynn because she actually learned to tell some of the best stories.
Oh, yeah.
She told stories of her life. And anyway, I think that she made her mark on the country music.
Well, she did. She was the first female to ever win Entertainer of the Year. And they did a 30-minute thing on her on the Country Channel this weekend, and then played the story about her with Sissy Spacek.
I know. I watched that.
And what was amazing was Loretta talking about Sissy, and she picked her. She's the one that picked her.
Well, she was perfect for the part.
And she said there were other ones that looked more like me.
Right, but Sissy.
But when I saw that freckle face and the look of that girl, that little girl, and she said, in my mind, that's exactly what I felt like and looked like when I was that age. And Sissy came and lived with her for a year before she did that.
She studied that deeply until she
studied
had
all of it. Yeah,
the
sure
music
did.
and everything else, and that's
Loretta
what it
took
takes.
her with her and sang with her.
Yeah.
You know, so
Anyway.
it was a sad thing, but a wonderful thing, a wonderful life.
Don't come home a drinking.
Don't come home a drinking. That's Dewey Mooney.
Yeah, and you ain't woman enough to take my man.
Yeah.
That she always came up with something
Well,
out of her life.
because she wrote that after she found
Yeah.
Mooney in a car outside the Grand Ole Opry with another woman in the back
She was
seat.
a strong lady.
Yes, she was.
She made an impact on
And
the
she
community.
and Patsy Cline were incredible friends.
And that didn't last long because Patsy got killed.
Patsy got
That was
killed,
sad.
and Loretta carried that friendship with her up until this past week.
Anyway,
You know, so good for her. Good for her.
we'll miss her.
Hey, we've got a lot of stuff going on, so we're gonna move along. There's some stuff I want to share with you because it is with that little witchy poo down there. You know, we're close to Halloween, and we'll be moving on, and the sound of feet up and down the street, a ghoul, a goblin army, ghoul and goblin army hunting something sweet. Little saints disguised as haints knock on every door, sacks filled with candy, but still wanting more. A dentist's favorite holiday helps rot little teeth. All Hallows Eve.
Yeah. Did you grow up spooking people?
Huh?
Did you, what we called it when I was growing up was going spooking.
Spooking?
Spooking.
Spooking.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And this past week we had a thing for these wonderful folks. A fireman, a cop, an ambulance EMT, they run toward trouble to help you and me. For years overlooked, I can't help but wonder how many more would have been lost without our local heroes, without our first responders.
That's wonderful. We need to always respect and applaud our first responders. They're always there.
Whales, sharks, tuna, turtles, eels, Nemo, all in the doctor's aquarium trying to survive the next attack. I'd rather be on the beach.
Yeah, we all had. Wish I was there now. There's something special about the waves and the wind and the water to me. I miss it. So do you write on this every day? Do you write?
Oh, it just depends on what
loco?
shows up in my mind,
It just pops into your
my
head.
crazy little mind. Damnation, what a fight. It's been the longest night. Time crawls like a tumblebug rolling dung. Up to pee again. Where's the sun? Just heard nature's snooze alarm again. Damn rooster. Can't accept baked goods. might be laced with drugs. No matter how cute, adults best not give hugs. The fun tricks of yesterday are buried in a trunk. What's next? Politically incorrect to say boo. So just a few things.
Could be.
Huh?
It could be politically incorrect.
To say boo. You know, I mean, it seems like everything is it's all wrapped around politics.
I'm hoping we can get past that and people can
I do too.
just have a conversation. I don't care what you believe. I mean, I know what I believe, and I'm okay with it. But I want you to believe what you want to believe.
I read a
because
thing.
You believe something I don't believe.
I read a thing yesterday about the lady, the beautiful lady, wonderful lady, who was Aunt Jemima.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a slave, and she was the first live thing that was a commercial
person, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, she was trademark. She was the first live trademark in advertising. And was respected, very highly paid for what she did, told stories, children loved her. She was the first Oprah Winfrey. You know, she made such a difference in the color barrier and what she did for her people.
And now suddenly we can't put her on.
And so until the politicians decided that was embarrassing for her to be on the label anymore of the pancake mix, and they took her off.
I know. I think that's kind of sad.
And her family was embarrassed by it, and all the wonderful things that she did. You know, why in the world would someone?
Yeah, it's hard to wrap my head around some things like that.
A beautiful piece of history,
right,
and wipe it away from existence.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense. But politicians just mostly don't make sense most of the time, and sometimes we don't make sense. But we all get to say what we want to because we live in a country where you're free to speak. So far. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop Factory Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I am so glad to have with me today Mr. Greg Gressel, who is chairman of the board of South Jackson Performing Arts Center. Do I say that now?
Absolutely. It's just one of our...
That's what we do,
it's
isn't it?
It's still South Jackson Civic Center, but it is our Performing
Arts Center. And there's so much going on the arts. I'm going to turn this over to you for a minute. You tell us about this being National whatever.
It is National Arts and Humanities Month.
Right.
October, our mayor did a proclamation of that for the city of Tullahoma as well, but it is a national recognition, and so we're super excited to be celebrating the arts. That is a big part of who we are. That's been part of who we are as the community. And I know we've been busy in our different arts communities around town, and South Jackson is certainly.
There's something going on all the time this month.
Something going on all the time. We just got finished celebrating, kicking off the month with Rocky Horror Picture Show, which was great. We had crowds from all over and all around. It was a great time.
Word spreads on.
Word spreads, social media and
events
everything.
Like that,
it
yeah.
really does. And so we've got a lot of things coming up too. This coming Thursday night at 6:30 at the Country Club, South Jackson is inviting the community to join them at the Country Club. Just a celebration of our 100th year anniversary and to hear about the next 100 years. And so it's part of our capital campaign.
100th year of the auditorium and the building itself, correct?
The main portions of the building
Yeah.
and the auditorium is 100
years.
Yes. And so we're super excited about that. Invite you to come. You know, you can call the office at 931-455-5321 if you would like to RSVP for that wine and cheese event. But then Saturday is our big Oktoberfest.
I know, and I wanted to hear more about the Oktoberfest, because this is what, the fourth year?
It's the fifth.
Fifth year.
We
Okay.
skipped one, 2020. We didn't have one during COVID
Right.
year, but then we did come back in 2021.
And it's been growing every year.
It's been growing every year, and we've got great vendors and food. And
I love the band you had last year.
Happiness Band, the polka band.
Are
will
they
be
coming back? I
will
thought
be
they
back.
were very
so we'll have
good.
live music. The high school band is going to be making an appearance there as a part of their
good.
march-a-thon.
Wonderful.
So we're excited to have the high school band there. They'll be there about 2:45.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is a free event, but don't stay home don't forget to bring money.
Yeah, you might want to bring some money for food
Yeah.
and for some good
Vendors.
German beers and Oktoberfest beers and vendors. There's going to be several
Is
vendors
the popcorn
there.
person coming back?
Popcorn people. I mean, it's everything you can imagine for a festival. It'll be a lot of fun and a lot of games. We've got a great kids zone, free for the kids. Everything that they can do is free. Some contest, a schedule was released yesterday.
Oh, good.
On social media, and you'll find that on our website as well. But a schedule, just all the different events, because we've got stein hoisting and yodeling.
Yeah, put on your Oktoberfest costumes if you have them, and
Absolutely.
just come and have a fabulous time.
There will be an
What time
adult
does it
and a
start?
children. It starts at noon and goes to 8 p.m.
Goes to 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so don't forget, and I think we're going to have a beautiful day for it.
It's going to be a gorgeous day for it. Well, it used to be later in the month, and we've moved it up in the month just to kind
Just
of
to
get
make
a
it a
little
little
bit better
bit,
weather.
yeah.
So
That's
and,
great.
So that's super exciting. And then a week from today, we'll be celebrating with our downtown businesses, the arts community. We're going to have an arts crawl, and so the businesses will be staying up until 8 o'clock if they don't normally, and they'll have different artists, whether visual artists or performing
And
artists.
so anybody wanting to show their artwork, call us Fine Arts.
They can call the Fine Arts Center
or call
or
Civic
South
Center.
Jackson. Either one will be fine, and we do have a few locations that we can still put a few people, but it's going to be a
Fabulous.
great thing. We've got a car show as a part of that event, and several performing
And
groups.
that night, we have Motowners.
No,
Oh, isn't that
this
it?
night is the 18th.
Oh, wait,
Later
sorry,
that weekend,
that's the next week. Sorry.
That weekend on the 22nd
Yeah,
is
I'm
the
sorry.
Motowners at South
I got
Jackson.
my brain off. But anyway,
It's a busy time, and October is
is a
going to be a
busy
great time
time.
for it. It's honestly the beginning of our holiday season at South Jackson.
And it comes so fast.
It comes so fast, and it starts in October, and it lasts about 3.5 months. So
And there's plenty going on, so just get out.
yes, absolutely.
That's what I'd like to say. Just get out and go immerse yourself in the arts because they're everywhere.
Yep. The Chamber will be hosting a Chamber Coffee at South Jackson also on the 25th of October. And then on Halloween Day after school, after the kids get out of school from 3 to 5, downtown businesses, everybody that's got a big orange bow will be doing trick-or-treating. South Jackson will be participating in that. And
I'm so
we'll
glad
be
we
out
have
on the-
something like that too, for the kids to not get hurt, but
Yeah.
be safe. It's a
be
safe
safe
environment.
and enjoy themselves. So
Oh
something
my
for
goodness.
everybody, adults,
Sort of makes me
children,
breathless.
everyone, yes.
Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much
lots
going on.
happening.
Do you think they're having I hope they have a huge turnout for the arts crawl, because I think is this just the second year we've done
This is the second time we've done it. The first time that we did the Arts Crawl was several years ago. I was involved with the Arts Council at that time as well. And Tisha Fritz was our coordinator for that.
Yeah.
Tisha's with the Chamber now. But she was our coordinator for that Arts Crawl. Very successful. And I believe that this will be equally successful. Colin Sharan and Melissa Sharan have been involved in really spearheading the efforts and making sure that things are set up with businesses and we've gotten artists connected with those businesses. So
we still have room for vendors or whatever to come in for the Oktoberfest?
There is a little bit of space for vendors.
space.
If they would like to participate, they can call the office this week though and let us know as soon as they can so that we can make sure
And what
that
is
we've
the
got as
charge
part of
for
our
that?
layout. I think the charge for vendors is $60
To have
Don't
their
completely
space.
quote me, but
Okay.
I think it's 60. It's no more than 65. I know that. So
I think it's an exciting time.
it is, and a great time to come out and start buy some of those fall gifts, buy some Christmas
Sure.
gifts already.
Get ready for
I mean,
Christmas.
get ready for it because it'll be here before you know it. And we have a Chris Kendall Mark coming up.
Oh my gosh.
In December.
That's
So,
before you can bat an eye.
Yes,
And
it
we
will be.
have Terry Barber coming in December from world-renowned artist singing,
yes,
and I'm excited about that.
I did hear you guys talking about Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn, and we
Yeah.
have Always Patsy Cline, the musical,
What year?
in November.
What date is that?
It is the 10th through the 13th of November. Live band, Always Patsy Cline.
I'm glad we got a live band.
And it's going to, the music's incredible. It's Patsy Cline music, and the vocalist on this show will knock your socks off. So you definitely got to come and see that and be a part of that event, November 10th through the 13th. And then Christmas time will then hit us, and we've got the Tullahoma Christmas tree lighting and the trees of Christmas at South Jackson.
And we're doing a young musician showcase, which would be our
On the
outstanding high school students in the arts
Mm-hmm.
doing music. That's November 20th.
November 20th, yes,
And
2:30.
then before you know it, it's all the Christmas stuff right on.
Yes, it is.
What time, when do we start the trees? Is it
Tree
December?
starts November 30th and goes through
Okay.
December 4th.
And that's a beautiful time.
It
And
is.
I understand we have more trees than we know what to do with.
We have more trees than ever. It's going to be an incredible time. Our benefactor that we've chosen this year we always like to help another nonprofit, and this year it's going to be the Imagination Library.
Oh, good.
There's a lot of misconceptions about the Imagination Library. Dolly Parton, it is her program, but she does not pay for all the
But
books.
she does not pay for all
And
the
so
books.
we've got to raise that money to help our kids in
And
Coffee
that's a
County.
wonderful project. And I love the trees of Christmas because I just found it so wonderful just to come and just stand there and look down the hallway and see all those gorgeous trees. And
It is
and we have so
spectacular.
many wonderful sponsors that take a
Absolutely.
tree and decorate it. Greg, we're almost done with time. Thanks for coming.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, and it's always a pleasure to sit and talk with you about what's going on and what's
Well,
fun.
and there's a lot going on, so everybody just take a notice of the signs at South Jackson and what's in the newspaper and what's on the TV show. We'll be
Absolutely.
back. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more.
Clayton Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for segment 40 of the Conversations with John and Pat.
You sure it's not 41?
It's 40.
Okay. Well, the song I'm going to do is one that's patriotic.
Great.
I used to know who wrote this, but I can't remember now. But we'll do it anyway.
Well, that'll make a great segue into today's
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was rambling that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that endless valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah. You know,
you get better and better, John. Now that was from the mid or early '60s, wasn't it?
The fellow that wrote that was from the time of the Route 66 when a lot of people left the farms out in Oklahoma for the dust storms. You know, I wished I could remember his name, but I should have been prepared, Pat.
Wasn't we're winging it this whole edition, but wasn't there a group of singers that had about 40 or 50 college-age kids that toured the country?
And Christy Minstrel.
No, that's not the New Christy Minstrels, but it was Up for America or something like that. They had the name, and this group came to Tullahoma because it was when I was in grade school, and they had the concert at the high school gym.
Wow, it made an impression on you.
Oh yeah, that song was one of their main songs.
Well, we do that from time to time. That song, Jimmy, Phil, and I, and you should hear the harmony. It's pretty good harmony.
Well, and I would expect you to be right there in the middle of it.
Oh, man.
Oh,
We're going to talk about Tullahoma, Pat.
We're going to have a little history today tied in being patriotic, and I think Tullahoma it was put on the map by Arnold Center, and after World War II, at least one of the Army generals who was interested in flight was General Hap Arnold, and while he was in Germany, he realized that the Germans' technology was way ahead of ours, and that if we were going to stay current with the Russians who we were competing with after the war, we had to invest in testing facilities, and Tennessee politicians were able to, I believe the other site was going to be somewhere in Washington State. I may be wrong about that, but I know Mr. Harton from Tullahoma was involved with Joel Evans, who was our Tennessee State Senator, and then our U.S. Senators Kefauver and McKellar were very, very involved and really politicking hard to get the Arnold Center there, and we won, and it was put, the land was donated where Camp Forest was. Of course, they were looking for something to do with it after the war anyway, so it was a real natural.
You know, that must have been just so exciting back at that time to know that was going to be done here.
Oh, it was just such a boost and shot in the arm. You know, I think we've talked about...
Did this follow Camp Forest?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I remember we've had one segment where we talked about Charlie Marshall's class. I think that was 1953, maybe, something like that. And he had 60 some odd students in his senior class. In the class of 1970, after Arnold Center came through, he had 300. So it was a huge shot in the arm for Tullahoma. And President Truman, when the center was dedicated in 1951, came to Tullahoma, which to people like the Couches and the Powells that were active in local history, that was a really big event at that time. And we've got pictures today that I think were originally taken by Mr. Powell, but I am not positive. And the first one was out at Northern Field. President Truman was flown to Northern Field, and I think hopefully you can see President Truman in the suit. And there is a young gentleman with dark hair and sunglasses and a light suit that's to his left, and that is Senator Kefauver. Let's go with the next one, Philip. Let's see here. That's still at the airport, and if you can find President Truman just a little bit to the left of center in the front, there was a lady with a wide brim hat, and that General Arnold had passed away, but that's Mrs. Arnold there is widow, and behind President Truman is a gentleman with a kind of a multicolored tie with his hair parted in the middle. That is Joel Evans from Smithville, and to his left is Tullahoma's Mr. Harton, who would have been really involved in this. And there's probably plenty of other dignitaries in there that I'm leaving out, but that's the ones that I can identify. And they then rode in a big parade down Jackson Street from Northern Field out to Arnold Center. And in the main car there you can see President Truman again, and there's a gentleman sitting in the seat above who's got his arm on the side, and that, I believe, is Governor Browning, who was governor of Tennessee at the time. And I had the pleasure of living in a dorm one semester at Tennessee Tech that was named after Governor Browning. And you can just barely see a motorcycle in the right corner there, and that is Tullahoma's Tom Womack. And one of the other pictures, he is saluting, that I failed to mention him. Tom's in his 90s, and we want to give a little shout out to him today, too.
Nice guy.
Showed in both pictures. And that was, I wish we'd had enough time, John, and enough initiative to us to get out to the historian at ADC. I'm sure they've got a lot of pictures. That was a really big event when the parade got. That picture, can you put that last one back up, Philip? We get people kind of oriented. You can see a building just in the right-hand corner. That is Millie's Bridal Shop, if you know where that is on Jackson Street. And then to the left, if the camera lens was wide enough, is South Jackson Civic Center. So that kind of orients you to where that was.
Big Dunes in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Big Dunes in Tullahoma. They're getting ready to go the viaduct, turn left, and proceed on to Arnold Center, which was a big event for Tullahoma.
Yeah. Well, that was a good day to remember.
It was a big
probably
day to remember.
Probably as memorable as ever has been in Tullahoma.
Probably true.
I'm sure.
I don't think the president has come before. Now, the day that you moved to Tullahoma, John, would have been momentous, but it probably didn't catch the president coming to town. And before we get worse, John, we need to quit.
We enjoyed it.
We had a great time. That's segment number 41, or did I say it's?
I can't remember now.
It's 41.
Well,
segment 40. No, it's not.
40.
John, that's 40. Excuse us.
We're going to lose this someday. We're going to lose the track.
We hope not. We'll probably lose it when management tells us we're out. But that's not the end of our stories. We got plenty more to come if they'll still have us. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop Factory Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, and I'm going to follow Peggy and Greg Gressel with Tisha from the Chamber. And, you know, we started the show this morning, Tisha, about all the things that are happening this time of year in our wonderful, number one, our wonderful little town of Tullahoma that we love, but really in this whole area. It is so, you know, if you say I don't have anything to do, it's because you're not looking.
Exactly.
And you're here to tell us a whole lot of stuff about what's on the books with the Chamber and just around downtown locally and things. And I know you got a cheat sheet over there because I saw you.
I did.
And that's okay because, no, really, I mean, there's so much stuff. And you know, I want to, before she starts, I want to give thanks and credit to our Chamber of Commerce and the people that are over there working over there, because they work daily to promote our town and our local businesses, and they do it in such a professional way. And you know, we've sort of been, a bunch of us old dogs has sort of been taken over by this technical world. Mm-hmm. And you and your staff over there is helping lead us through that in ways to promote our businesses and promote ourselves and our products in our town through technology, which is, you know, it's just outstanding because that's what you young people use to find out stuff.
Exactly. Thank you.
You know, we waited on a newspaper or a television or a radio. Shoot, y'all got something right here. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can tell you that. Siri, tell me something.
Exactly.
So, Tisha, tell me something.
So, John, thank you very much for recognizing. You know, we at the Chamber, we take our role very seriously. We understand it's important that in our community that we use our voice and we recognize our position to share what is going on. You know, we use technology, Facebook and Instagram and several other social media platforms, our website, to get the message out quickly. And we have quite a message to spread about the many things that are going on at the Chamber and around in the community this fall. So I can't go without saying this Friday is our Fall Chamber Classic, sponsored by First Bank. We're going to have about 30 teams out at Lakewood Golf and Country Club, having a great time as we always do, getting the ladies and gentlemen out golfing. After that, we have coming up on November 3rd, our 40 Under 40, where we're recognizing 40 outstanding young professionals. This event brought to us by Coffee County Bank. We are so excited, again, hosted at Lakewood Golf and Country Club, where we will honor 40 individuals, men and women in our community, who rise above the call of, you know, in their jobs and in our community, doing really good things to move our community forward. So we're really excited to take a moment and honor and celebrate them. So tickets are still available for $25 each, and you could get those on our website at tullahoma.org when you find that event.
Now, if for somebody who's hard to figure out some of this social media stuff, can you just stop by the Chamber and get a ticket?
You can. We love to make it easy as possible for folks who are technologically advanced. Check out the website, but stop by, give us a call. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30.
And who'd you say was sponsoring that?
40 Under 40 is sponsored, title sponsor is Coffee County Bank.
So you could probably go by there and get a ticket as well.
Well, you know, we'll let them handle the banking. Come on by the Chamber.
Okay.
And
okay. But you know, and the thing about it is, folks, we in our society today, you know, we've lost, a lot of people have lost that physical touch and that that physical connection between each other, and it's always good. And if you haven't been by the chamber, and a lot of people don't because they think, oh well, I'm not a member or I'm not so and so. The Chamber of Commerce is for you, no matter whether you're a member or not. It's for Tullahoma. And go in and see their lovely facility and what they have to offer. And while you're in there, you can pick up a ticket.
You can. You'd be surprised what a resource for folks visiting the community. Every day we have new faces come by, whether they're business owners who are members or people who are visiting for the weekend. We're a common stop for maps and lots of information. So we definitely invite anyone to stop by our office.
Oh, and by the way, you don't have to be in business to be a member.
True.
You can be an individual who just cares about your town that you live in and get an individual membership.
Absolutely. Some of our greatest, most dedicated community advocates are members as individuals.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So I also want to make sure that I talk about our upcoming Wobble Gobble 5K. You
I can't help but laugh with that. You know why?
Why?
Because one of my dear friends is Wanda Gobble.
Okay.
And she's a beautiful lady. She's an artist and an advocate for the Arts Center in South Jackson and our whole town. And every time I hear gobble, wobble, gobble, wobble, it doesn't make any difference which way you say it. It just makes me laugh.
Well, good. That's exactly what we want to happen. When people think about the Wobble Gobble 5K, that is an event that we hope draws quite a crowd from the community. Tickets are on sale, again, on our website. You can find those easily, or stop by. We can help you. But those are on sale now. And if you get registered by the end of the month, you're guaranteed a T-shirt. So we look forward to the community joining us for that. We've got a great group of sponsors: Vanderbilt, Tullahoma Heart and Hospital. We've got Fit Beyond Therapy, Chick-fil-A, Fogarty and Robinson, Cheryl's Pest Control. I think I'm leaving one out, but we've got a great group that are supporting us in that event. So we really look forward to young, old, whether you're walking, you're running, you're wobbling, gobbling and wobbling. We want you to come out and join us.
So get the gobble wobble. That way you can take a sandwich. Y'all probably have some snacks, won't you?
We'll have snacks. Chick-fil-A's been known to bring a biscuit or two out there.
On a snack, you can be gobbling on a candy bar and wobbling down the road.
Exactly. And a couple other events rounding out the month of October. We've got some great ribbon cuttings coming up on the 20th. We've got Envy Embroidery on October 21st, the UPS store. And then October 27th, we've got Beauties in Business. So we're cutting the ribbon on 3 great businesses and organizations this month. So we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, we can't go without giving a mention to our Chamber Coffee this month. Traditionally hosted by Woodard's. I'm glad to support us again in that. But we have 2 sponsors who've come on, South Jackson and Partners for Healing. So they're going to team up together at South Jackson on October 25th at 11 o'clock. And there we are going to announce our Grand Marshal for the Christmas Parade. So we're really excited about that too.
That's wonderful. Now, one thing you didn't mention, and I can't remember whether it's a chamber event, but I know the chamber's always involved. Now, we have a trunk or treat or downtown, don't we?
Downtown trick-or-treating. So we don't host that. It's funny, maybe the one downtown event we don't, but we are absolutely there. We will have candy on our front step, but the downtown businesses and those kind of outlying in the area will participate on Halloween night. That'll be on a Monday from 3 to 5 p.m. The entire community is welcome to come out, dress up with your families, safe and sound downtown, and in the area of downtown.
And it's so much fun to watch those little spooks and goblins and all wandering around downtown, and their moms herding them here and there, and classes, and because some of them are Sunday school classes from the churches downtown.
Absolutely.
It's just wonderful to see that happen, and that's going on, and it's just there's so much happening. It's just wonderful.
It is. It's truly wonderful there for people in our community, whether you are single individuals, retired individuals, folks with families, or just by yourself, there's always something that can be found in the fall here in Tullahoma and our surrounding area.
And if you want to have an event and you go, okay, oh, let me ask you this. Is anybody keeping a city calendar now?
There are several city calendars. I will, of course, point to the Tullahoma Chamber calendar. We keep that updated, and you can visit the City of Tullahoma's website. They have a great calendar as well. South Jackson has a great calendar, and so does several of our arts organizations.
But do they have each other's stuff on the calendar? That's what I'm talking about. We used to have one of the women's clubs years ago used to keep a city calendar of all the events, and when somebody had an event, they would put Motlo's on there and the Chambers on there and this one on there and that one on there. So if you wanted to have an event and you wanted to look and see where there was an open date, you would go to the city calendar and it would have everybody's events on there. Don't worry about it because you can't find an open date anymore. There's so much stuff going on around here. You're going to have competition.
It's true, but I will say that the City of Tullahoma does a fairly good job.
Good.
They reach out to the chamber, and I assume they do, the same.
Different ones. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you for what all you do, and
thank you.
I smile about the wobble gobble and because of Wanda, and it just tickles me as she does. And I smile about you when I'm with you because you're just a bright spot.
Thank you.
And you always bring a bright voice and shining eyes and a beautiful smile when you come, and we appreciate that. And the whole town appreciates what you and the Chamber of Commerce bring to help this community glow and grow.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay, dear, and you know you're welcome back anytime.
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll see you in just a minute.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family. Caring. Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest. Engaging. With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Good morning, camera ladies. It's Miss J&J. Thank you, John, for that introduction. We're glad to be here one more time. And as I said before, this is not the end of the story, but here's some more of it right now coming up. And you know, there's so many wonderful things and exciting and interesting topics to talk about and to discuss. And one that's talked about very little or discussed very little, but it's an important part of all of our lives, and our last resting place. I thought I'd share you a little bit about cemeteries today, of all things. It might not cheer you up, but it will stimulate your thinking, you know, and bring back a lot of remembrances of loved ones and friends that have gone to the great beyond. And we have some wonderful, well-kept cemeteries here in Tullahoma and the surrounding areas. Oakwood Cemetery at the corner of Wilson Avenue and North Jackson Street is the oldest of our cemeteries in Tullahoma, and it was expanded about 30, 40 years ago. It enlarged because it was almost completely full, and it's well kept by the city and the public works people. They mow it in the summertime, they rake it in the fall, and look after it in the wintertime. I have no idea how many folks are buried there, but it's well kept. We've got some beautiful trees there that have been there for many, many, many years. Then there's the Maplewood Cemetery on Maplewood Avenue that's not as old as Oakwood, but it's well kept too on a slow rising hill, and has a chain link fence around it. It's well kept by the city. And adjoining it is a Confederate cemetery. Back around 1862, 63, a fellow by the name of Captain Martin, or Colonel Martin, I don't know if he had a rank, gave several acres to the Confederacy and the Confederate leadership here to bury those that had died from wounds suffered in the Battle of Stones River at Murfreesboro, when General Bragg's 20,000 troops retreated to Tullahoma in January of 1863, and many of them died of wounds suffered in that conflict, and many of them with flu and pneumonia that died in that time. And until 1995, there were 407 soldiers buried there that were totally unknown. Nobody had any records of them at the time, and our local Sons of the Confederacy did some research and were searching for something in the archives in Washington, and found a list of those that were interred there at the Confederate Cemetery next to Maplewood Cemetery, and those names were verified, and 396 of the 407 were indeed verified to be accurate, and the group that found them published an up-to-date book, had a marble marker made, and rededicated that cemetery, and it's a beautiful, well-kept. It has a chain link fence around it, and it is kept by those who are members of the Sons of the Confederacy. As a matter of fact, it doesn't belong to the city, but it belongs to the heirs of those who are buried there. And they take it upon themselves to maintain it and keep that cemetery. There's a cemetery off the Turkey Creek Road just behind the Tennessee Training Academy. It's this Evergreen Cemetery that's been there for many, many years. And a little known but large cemetery just southeast of the Wagner Park complex that was part of Camp Forest is known as the People's Cemetery. And it's been there for many, many years. And I think the latest marker shows that the last person buried there was in 1937. I could be wrong there, but I've been told that, and I have seen some of those markers out there. It too is well kept, but when Camp Forest was built in 1940 and 41, nobody touched anything there, and it's still just like it was originally. Our good friend Tommy Allen and his class, that's one of their yearly projects is cleaning up cemeteries that have been abandoned or have been grown up in weeds and brush and trees and that sort of thing. Then there's a Bethany Cemetery out on Rock Creek, not Rock Creek, but the Riley Creek Road. It's a beautiful cemetery there by the church. Now, during World War II, there was a German, Italian, Japanese prisoner of war camp there at the edge of the entrance to Camp Forest, and some 20,000 or 30,000 prisoners of war were there, and they built about an 8 or 10 acre cemetery for those that possibly would die or become ill and subsequently die. But that area is in the industrial park, and it's right across the road of the street from the water tank in the Tullahoma's Industrial Park. There's a big opening there that was leveled, and I remember coming home on leave one time from the Navy, and I drove out there, and they had some German prisoners manicuring the cemetery there. I don't think there were ever more than 8 or 10 that were buried in that cemetery. And I got a call a few weeks ago when a fellow from California called and told me that his father had been a guard at the prisoner of war camp at Camp Forest and had become a friend to a young German prisoner, and the fellow that called me himself said, I remember being in Tullahoma. I started the first grade at East Lincoln Elementary School, and he's an executive with Payne Weber investment firm, and he was doing some research on his father's history as a guard out there, and he said that his father told him that that German prisoner that was his friend died in May of 1943, but didn't know have any record of what happened or anything. So we called Davis Culverson Funeral Home that had a contract with the Army to take care of those that were deceased, either our people or the prisoners, and in just a few minutes they had the record that he had died indeed in May of 1943, and they had taken care of him, and he was I believe 23 years old at the time, and they took him to Crossville that had a branch POW camp there and a cemetery there, and later was transferred his body to the National Cemetery in Chattanooga, and probably later he was sent back to his home in Germany. But it's interesting the care and the well done and well kept cemeteries that we have in our local area. And the most recent cemetery was built in 1955, which is Rose Hill Cemetery between Tullahoma and Manchester. And it, of course, is being well kept. And might mention too that every year on Memorial Day, our Veterans of Foreign Wars and our American Legion Post puts flags on all of the veterans' graves that are identified, and this is up in going on 2,000 now, and I want to tell you that that's a blessing that we honor those at all the cemeteries for their service to keep our country free. I sure do thank you for watching, and this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. In the meantime, y'all have a good day, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Last night, ladies and gentlemen, at our city board meeting, something happened that I don't know has ever happened before. Citizen of Tullahoma, Craig Northcott, was there to make a statement during the public time when the public gets to come up and speak as a citizen of Tullahoma, but also he was there as our district attorney to ask one of our aldermen, Alderman Almacher, to step down from her seat because of the fact that she no longer lives in Tullahoma, or possibly didn't live in Tullahoma when she was elected, and he had received complaints through petition by citizens. And with that said, we'll show you what took place at the board meeting last night.
This complaint deals with the fact that Ms. Almacher, by operation of law, has not been an alderman since February of 2021.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to object at this point.
You'll have an opportunity to respond. Please go ahead.
Ms. Almacher was duly elected by the citizens of, and the voters, which are non-citizens of Tullahoma in certain circumstances, to take office in August of 2020. that time, she resided at a property in Tullahoma, Coffee County, in Macon Manor. In February of 2021, she sold that property. Sold the property for $330,000. At that point, no other residents within the city limits of Tullahoma. In August of the same year, she purchased unapproved property for $270,000 on Lefford Mill Road. That is both in the Coffee County and city limits of Tullahoma. However, there is no residence on that property. By her own admission, by witness statements, she has been residing at a property on Blue Creek Road, which is in Franklin County and outside the city limits of Tullahoma, for approximately 20 months. Under the city charter, in order to run for either alderman or mayor of the city of Tullahoma, one must reside in the city limits. City charter also indicates that a alderman and mayor must continue to reside in the city limits for the full term
This is on the agenda, and he's passed his 3 minutes.
I would ask for an extension, Your Honor. I think this.
We don't have that in our board rules.
I think it.
Point of order. This is not on the agenda, and it's passed his 3 minutes.
Your comments are not in order. Please go ahead.
She resided at this property on Blue Creek Road for nearly 20 months of what was then a 3-year term as alderman. It has now been extended to 4 years. This has been brought to my attention pursuant to a formal complaint, as I indicated earlier. Pursuant to 2935-101, it falls upon the District Attorney General within the county of the city to bring a quo warranto action to remove a public official who is unrightfully holding office. Thus, it has now become my responsibility to deal with this issue. What I'm here today to ask is that Ms. Allmacher do what is required of her and step down. Every vote can be called into question for every item that you continue to take action on. That is not best for the city. It's not best for you. It is not best for anyone for that to continue to happen. If you do not take that road, I'll have no choice but to file the appropriate action to have you removed by court order. I do not wish that. There is Proverb 29 that says, "Wise man does not argue with a fool, because the fool only rages and laughs, and there's no peace but controversy." I want peace. I don't want controversy. I'm here asking and hoping that there's 2 wise people in this, and we can simply do what's right and move forward. I would ask that you do that within the next business day. If you do not, I will take the action that the law requires me to take in this. Please don't make me do that. Those are my comments. Thank you.
I should get
Allmacher.
Yes, okay.
You may respond.
So, again, I reside in the city limits of Tullahoma. I am a resident for all intents and purposes by Tennessee Code Annotated 2-2-122. Principles for the determination of residence and the factors involved. The determination of whether a person is a resident is made in light of the residence of a person is that place in which the person's habitation is fixed and to which whenever the person is absent, the person's definite intention to return. Okay? So a change of residence is generally made not only by the act of removal joined with the intent to remain in another place, and each individual can only have one resident. A person does not become a resident of a place solely by intending to make it the person's residence. There must be appropriate action consistent with intention. You said two things that were not, well, actually three things. The amount of my house is irrelevant and also not really your business to be sharing. But number two, the property that I bought also is not unimproved. And also if you look at the tax records, it is improved. It had 2 barns on it and I put a travel trailer on it. And yes, I know what you're about to say. A travel trailer is not a legal residence in the city of Tullahoma based on our code, except for the fact that that 20 acres is zoned agricultural. And there's a state law that actually says, Mr. Northcott, and you being the district attorney ought to have known this, that a municipality cannot interfere with agricultural property per Tennessee Code Annotated 6-54-126 from the year 2005. And the use of agricultural purposes can also mean a resident on that purposes. Therefore, the travel trailer code does not apply to agricultural purposes. I have a travel trailer, I have a resident. My driver's license says 1744 Ledford Mill Road, and I am a resident. So I suggest you go ahead and file whatever it is you need to file.
Ma'am, I'm not here to litigate this issue with you.
Exactly. If you're not on the agenda and your time is up, there is no need for a response. I have the opportunity to respond. He is out of order.
You have responded. Thank you.
You called me out, and just like you had a response,
You're out
I
of
get
order.
to have a response as well.
Point of order, Mayor.
At this point, Mr. Northcott, I'm going to call for a short recess. I need to speak with our city attorney. Before we go further, I'd like for the board to remain at the desk for now until I speak with our attorney in private. Mr. Giffen, could you please join me outside?
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hey, we're back.
So we're gonna, what we're gonna do
You were
is,
going to talk about the football game
well,
for a
I want
minute.
to make sure that Lawrence County's coming to town Friday night, and it's a region game, and we have 3 more games left in the regular season. We need to win all 3 of them. We have Lawrence County, and we go away to Greenbrier, and then we have Glencliff coming here, and they're all winnable games. And we just need fan support, particularly for our home games. Greenbrier is when we go to Greenbrier, they're about 2.5 hours away, just like the Montgomery Central was. But we had a good crowd up there. So, but we're looking. Lawrence County's always a tough team to play, and they're going to be here. And we just need to have everybody in the stands supporting our Wildcats. They're playing good football. And all of our players are back on the field, and it's
And-
just it's good. It's
And
gonna
we'd
be
like to
good.
encourage everybody to come out for the Oktoberfest. It starts at 12 o'clock on Saturday this week, and that'll be exciting.
That'll be exciting.
And
That'll
I
be
know
a good
there's
thing.
a lot of other things, but today we're going to show a clip from the Motowners.
Yes,
which
and
is
that's going to
coming
be, when's that going to be?
October 22nd.
22nd.
Saturday evening, and tickets are on sale at the South Jackson Civic Center or southjackson.org.
And for
Anyway.
all of you cats who remember Motown when it started, the Four Tops and the Supremes and the Impressions and you name it.
They're all in this group. There's 11 of them. They bring in their own musicians and costumes and whatever. It's an exciting group.
Very good.
I need to make the point that the Performing Arts Series is usually out-of-town people,
Right.
out of state. Anyway, we need to show it now before time is up.
We are. We're
All
going
right.
to show you that clip right now, and we'll close with that. Thanks for watching, and remember, go Cats Friday night, 7 o'clock football game, and go Vols. Get that Bama Elephant this time. It's your turn. Good day.